Our headlines today. Hundreds of thousands of children are waiting up to a year for hospital treatment. The Prime Minister says the current state of the NHS is unforgivable.
The first TUC conference under a Labour government for more than a decade begins in Brighton later.
Looking back at the Paralympics legacy of Paris 2024 as the Games draw to a close. Now, you will recognise this man, the former sub-postmaster who led a campaign for justice over the faulty Horizon IT scandal, has got married on Sir Richard Branson's private island.
It's lovely, isn't it? Sir Alan Bates tied the knot with his long-term partner Suzanne on Necker Island last month. They were invited, I don't know if you remember this, he dropped a very public hint to Sir Richard in an interview, did it in the Sunday Times, where he said, if Sir Richard Branson's watching, I'd love a holiday. Well, Richard Branson obviously read the article and invited them, and there they are, a happy couple.
Well, if you don't ask, you don't get, do you?
Exactly.
Good on him. They look very happy, don't they? Congratulations to them.
And good morning from Newcastle, where in just a few hours' time, tens of thousands of people are going to be lining up here to take part in the 43rd Great North Run.
Let's have a look at the papers, shall we? See what's making the headlines on this Sunday morning. As we've been reporting, the Telegraph carries a story on its front page about Lord Darcy's report into the NHS in England and the fact that more than 100,000 infants were left waiting longer than 6 hours to be seen in accident and emergency departments in England last year.
The Sunday Times is reporting that Great Ormond Street Hospital is conducting an urgent review into the cases of 721 children treated by what it calls a rogue surgeon. The paper claims that patients were left with life-changing injuries.
Surprise, surprise. Oasis tour to go global, says the Sunday Mirror. It claims that the Gallaghers are in talks to take their reunion tour to the United States, to Mexico and to Argentina. I suppose that was kind of inevitable. They were never just going to play.
There you go. If you didn't get a ticket, you can pop to Buenos Aires. And the BBC
Dublin.
News website reports how the Body Shop has been rescued from administration. It says a deal has been done with a consortium which appears to secure the immediate future for 1,300 employees. Good news. It's a real institution, isn't it?
A couple of stories making headlines inside. Page 5 of the Mail on Sunday this morning tells us that if you have a milkshake, a banana milkshake specifically, before you go to bed, it may help you to sleep. Ooh. Yes, this is according to a study in the Asia-Pacific Journal of Clinical Nutrition, which is compulsory reading for most people. Followed 21 insomniacs, half of them tucked into a whole banana and a small cup of milk every night for 6 weeks, tried to get to sleep. It helped because apparently, excuse me, both are rich sources of tryptophan. Yeah, I probably said that incorrectly. That's a chemical which is vital for numerous bodily functions, including sleep, because it gets turned into melatonin, the sleep-promoting hormone, when you've consumed it. So there you go.
That was a study of 21 samples.
Huge.
Listen to the size of this sample, which makes it a very serious study. So 1,000 adults were asked who goes to the bar and who dodges around. OK. And the results have come out, and they tell us that drinkers with big noses are the most likely to dodge getting around at the bar. Half of those who are drinking, 47%, said their friends with huge hooters are the most likely to avoid buying drinks.
Huge conch pals don't get ailing.
There we go. Your nose is a perfect shape, Roger. I've been to the bar with you, and you're always first there in the pub. This
is the inside story on the Star, page 7, but actually
it's big front page.
It's the front page splash, which just says it all, doesn't it?
Important study.
The Prime Minister defends controversial proposals to cut winter fuel payments for millions of pensioners. Sir Keir Starmer, defying some in his own party, tells the BBC the plan will help fix the economy.
Are you willing to be unpopular?
We're going to have to be unpopular. Tough decisions are tough decisions. Popular decisions aren't tough, they're easy.
The files of hundreds of patients treated at Great Ormond Street Children's Hospital are being reviewed as part of an inquiry into alleged negligence by a surgeon. 3 Israeli security guards are shot dead at a border crossing between the occupied West Bank and Jordan.
They're bringing in another gold medal.
And a final gold rush for Great Britain as the Paralympics draw to a close.
Plans for a new housing development by Cockfosters Tube Station have been met with some criticism from local residents. The development, which has been given the green light by the government, will be built on the current car park next to the Piccadilly Line station. But some campaigners say removing the parking spaces would make the station less accessible for people outside London.
Pope Francis has been visiting a remote area of Papua New Guinea where he called for an end to division, superstition and magic. On a visit to the town of Vanimo, the Pope donned a traditional bird of paradise headdress. After a quarter of Papua New Guinea's residents are Catholic, but pockets of the country face the challenge of tribal violence and deep-rooted beliefs around the existence of witchcraft.